going back to the bill itself, HB123, the part that you guys had pretty much amended in that law was allowing that under 14, you had the right to opt in to these services.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you look at like schools around the community, they've been able to do an opt-out form or opt-in, right? It's not an opt-out.
Right.
So it starts at 0 people and they have to opt in for the services. And so it's they're supposed to break down each level of service.
Right.
And then, so in our school system, like everybody around us got it right.
Mm-hmm.
Hoover, Shelby County, Vestavia did a fantastic job. Homewood was so-so.
Right.
But Mountain Brook, the original draft was an opt-out. And so the administration was presenting that to the board, and we'll get on that in a second. But me and another parent was sitting there listening to this, and he was the one that actually helped write some of that bill.
Right.
And we were looking at each other like I was like,
yeah.
wait, I've got to go back, reread what you wrote.
Right.
Like what's going on? What's the intent?
Right.
And so we pushed back, and we had one of our legislators, that parent, superintendent, and another administrator from the school meet. And they said, this isn't right. It's not the intent. And so they's like, well, actually, they pushed back on that. So they redrafted it. And then we was back at the next board meeting, and it was presented. And they was like, well, after our attorney and 2 other attorneys read over this is what we came up with. So one of the things they made was an opt-in.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that was one of the changes, but it's still nowhere near like what it should be, what the intent of the law is.
Right. And they're just going to ignore it.
If it wasn't for 2 parents sitting in that room, Mountain Brook would have opt-out and nobody even know.
Right. And and all the parents would think that's the way it's supposed to be.
Nobody knows because nobody's challenged or asking questions. And that's kind of where Mountain Brook Families has come in, because if you look at some of the things that we've been able to do, so we had that corrected. And that's still an ongoing conversation, by the way, because
it's still not right.
No, it's not right. And ducks are getting
lined up.
But
there's no recourse.
There will be.
There's
right.
There'll be another conversation, I promise.
Okay.